All right, guys, I'm here at Push HQ enjoying the evening. I am playing with my brand new Black Widow PMA. This thing is absolutely killer. Really getting to know this thing, and I'm out here just checking crawls. So I plan to shoot this thing with a fixed crawl, but what I like to do is go through my whole range of crawls and figure out exactly what distance I actually want to set that fixed crawl at, and then learn the gaps. So what we're gonna do is just go around the 3D range a little bit, explore the different crawls near the top of my Yoast tab, figure out what feels comfortable, how the bow likes to be shot. Also, I'm running a solid grip trigger here. And so with a solid grip trigger, you're going to have to be putting downward pressure a little bit here in the grip to get this thing to go off. So when you're crawling down the string really far versus right up against the nock, it's gonna set this solid grip trigger off at different rates as well. So you have to be kind of cognizant of that. But for now, let's just start here. Let's go into this pig target. And it's sitting right at about 20 yards. Using large marks as my communication to you guys, I'm gonna go down 4 large marks on the Yoast tab and nestle the tip right under the 10 ring and see where we hit. Okay, that felt good. That looked good. You can see I do have a little bit of a porpoise in the arrow, but that overall, that looks pretty good. So now what I'm gonna do is maybe come up, let's go to 3 large marks, and let's shoot at the laying down ram. And that's probably sitting right at about 23 yards. And again, we'll hold kind of at the bottom of the insert, right under the 10 ring, and see where we hit. All right, looks like we're a little low there. I think I was hung up a little low, to be honest with you. Let's go ahead and shoot that shot again. And again, this is what I normally do if I'm out here. I'm just taking you guys along with me on how I explore these crawls, explore how these bows like to be shot. And I'm shooting this Black Widow right off the shelf, which is pretty awesome. I'm actually very pleased with how tolerant this bow design is to crawling down the string, shooting it off the shelf too. And these arrows aren't super tuned to this thing, so you're gonna see some porpoising going on. But all right, same crawl, so 3 big marks down. I'm just gonna hold a little higher, right at the bottom of the 10 ring. It's kind of right where my tip was, honestly. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. This time I'm gonna get real drastic with my aim. I'm gonna go ahead and hold, like cover the 10 ring up. Right there with that other one. All right, let's go back to the standing ram in the back. He's at about 25 yards. And let's go ahead and see what 2 large marks down look like at this 25-yard crawl. 2 large marks. I'm gonna hold right at the bottom of that dark spot. Okay, you saw I kind of like got a little punchy when that went off. When I came to full draw, that solid grip trigger popped. I had to let off and then restart execution. All right, let's go get those. Keep playing a little bit more. All right, let's go back to that laying down ram. Really like to get that ironed out. I think I might have been held a little low rather than that crawl not being accurate. Okay, so we're gonna go back to 3 yoast marks, 3 large marks down, shoot at that laying down ram. All right. I think those shots, those first few, I was held a little low, but this is why you do this. This is why you repeat, you kind of test where your impacts went. And honestly, the bow really likes to be shot from that 3rd mark down. That's probably my top candidate for where I would put my fixed crawl. And so with that being said, to test that theory out, let's go back to this standing bore, and I'm going to shoot it from that 3rd mark down, which means I'm gonna hit high. I'm probably gonna hit at the top of the insert. So let's see just how high I hit. And that's gonna tell us our gap. Right now I know if I go to the 3rd large mark down and hold at the bottom of the insert or the bottom of the chest on this pig target, it's gonna go right in there. So let's test the theory first. Let's shoot it as if I'm aiming to actually kill this thing. 3rd yoast mark down, holding at the bottom of the chest. Yep, right there. That's right where you want it. It's like a low 10 ring. So then let's shoot at this little pig here right at the front. 3rd yoast mark down, 3rd large mark. And we're gonna hold right at the top of the dark part of its leg. Like right where that dark portion of his front leg transitions into lighter brown. That's where we're gonna hold. Maybe even like a touch lower. And let's see where we hit. Right there, it's right where you want it. All right. See how durable this is at further distances. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot at that laying down doe. That laying down doe is right at about 28 yards. And if I'm running basically a 23-yard crawl, which is what that laying down ram was, I'm gonna hit really low. So I wanna know where I need to hold to hit at a 28, 30-yard shot. And I'm guessing I'm gonna be probably holding near the top of the back because these are really heavy arrows. And I'm gonna go ahead and lock this thing down here so it doesn't twist on us. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna hold top of the insert, top of the back, see where we hit. 3rd large mark down. All right, still hit low. So I don't like this setup, honestly. I don't want to be holding too far above these animals' back at 30 yards. That's not a really great sight picture. Let's just shoot that arrow again and confirm it. I'll hold it in the exact same spot, and then we'll go get the arrows and reset. Same crawl. Right there, right next to each other. So there you go. So I'm holding basically at the top of the back, and not my favorite at just 28 yards. So let's go ahead and keep learning this bow. All right, let's just confirm the crawl one more time. Let's just start this series of arrows off on the laying down ram again. As a reminder, that's 23. I have to re-tie my lower knock point. It's moving on me. All right, 3 large marks down. Low again. Oh man, did you hear that clicker pop? It pops so fast. I'm gonna keep shooting at it till I figure this out. It didn't make me, so if you remember 2 ends ago, I kept getting hung up low on this target. So maybe this isn't the right crawl. I'm gonna keep shooting it. 3 large marks down. Right in there. Yeah, that's a legit. So when my sight picture, when I'm aiming at an animal or aiming even bare bow at a 3D target, for my 20-yard crawl, I'm still holding at the bottom of the 10 ring, and I'm hitting like 2 inches higher than where my arrow, the very crown of my arrow tip actually is. So with this, like this is a true 23-yard crawl because those arrows are hitting right where my arrow tip is when the shot's breaking. But that's not how I like it set up. I want my arrow hitting 2 to 3 inches higher than where my arrow, the crown of the arrow is for this crawl. So I'm gonna go up a half a mark. So I'm gonna be 2.5 marks down, and let's reshoot that shot at that laying down ram and see what that half crawl does to our impacts. So 2.5 down. This will feel slightly different on my anchor because the knock and the string are going to be on my nose in a different location. I don't know what's going on. This is like the Bermuda Triangle of distances with this crawl. Do it again. 2.5 down. That's unbelievable. Just right in, that's crazy. I don't know if this is just once I get 1 good arrow or two good arrows down the bottom of that 10 ring insert area, is my like aim just starting to shoot a group. But let's go grab those arrows and try to figure this out. I'm getting close. And quite honestly, as I was walking up there and pulling these arrows, I'm wondering if this laying down animal is really giving me fits, because I'm so used to aiming at like the bottom of the chest and actually seeing an air gap there. So that's pretty interesting. So maybe I have to be really intentional about where I'm holding, because that's really deceiving where like the quote unquote bottom of the chest would be on a standing animal. Let's shoot this wolf here. And I'm gonna run it from the 2.5 mark and hold right at the pit of his armpit. Let's see where this hits. It should be right in the 10 ring. Yep, just like that. Let's confirm on the pig again. because I can see the air gap, right? I can aim at the pit of the chest. So I'm going to do the same thing with the hog. This primary camera down here zoomed in, you can't see the air gap like I can. I'm a little bit taller than you. So 2.5 down, aim at the air gap. There you go, right there. All right, let's go back to the laying down ram again. So the laying down ram is pretty much at this point on. And I'm just gonna have to be super diligent about holding at the bottom of the insert. I think those curled up hoofs are like boogering with where I'm actually holding my tip when it breaks. All right, 2.5 down. That's right. That was a little better. That at least felt a little better. All right, let's go to the laying down doe up there one more time. I've got 2 arrows here to figure this out. My boys are up in the window making noise. All right, so 28 yards. I'm gonna go to 2.5 again. And I'm just gonna come to full draw. I'm not gonna shoot this arrow, and I'll tell you why. I'm seeing where my shelf is in relationship to the target here when I get to full draw. Okay. So, on this laying down doe, when I draw back and I stick the tip of the arrow where I need my arrow to go, it's like 1 inch above the back. But when I look down to see where my shelf is, in relationship to that, once I set my aim, my shelf, the doe is pretty much just laying on my shelf in my sight picture. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw back, and I'm gonna use another portion of my bow. This is a really cool aiming technique. If you're using elevated rest, you can use the wires. You can stack your arrows on top. So there's all different types of ways, but finding another landmark for these further distances is a really cool tactic. So I'm gonna go ahead and just draw back, stick the doe so she's laying on the shelf. I'm gonna take that arrow tip and pass it straight up through the 10 ring until the doe's laying on the shelf on my bow, and then shoot my shot from the 2.5 mark. 2.5. Boom. Right there, right in there. So that's a pretty cool aiming technique, right? So maybe you learned something on that one. So now I know at 28, 30 yards, all I have to do is stick my shelf at the bottom of the chest, essentially, maybe like a little air gap, and you're right in there. And let's finish off with, well, let's test that theory then. Let's test that theory. This standing doe back here in the back left with the big hole in her chest, she's about the same distance, maybe a yard closer than the laying down doe. So my arrow tip's gonna have to be at the top of her back, but I'm also going to just gut check and look at my shelf. My shelf should have about, I don't know, like a 3 inches of air gap below the chest. Let's see if we can just make this arrow disappear. That'd be a cool way to end this video, I can tell you that. All right, 2.5 mark, holding at the top of the back, shelf under an air gap below its chest. Well, that's not bad. Hit a little left. Almost there. A couple inches more right, that would have disappeared and been a really cool way to end this video. So there you go. I just kind of took you through exactly what I would do when I'm getting to know a new bow, figuring out where I want to put my fixed crawl. I come out, shoot at various distances, and just basically like do a situational breakdown. Like if this deer is standing at 15, where do I have to hold? And you kind of learn it and find the place on the bow where it likes to be shot. And for me, that's 2.5 marks down on my Yoast tab. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a brass knocking point right there. And there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Gosh, I'm really loving this bow. Look at that. Sweet. I have a Kaminsky weight here on this front stabilizer bushing, 21 ounces. This thing is not light, I can tell you that much, but yeah. Okay. Get primal, go shoot your bows.